Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, local fire departments are reminding residents about space heater safety and how to heat your home properly. Plus, Bangor has officially implemented the Barnacle parking device, which has proved to be efficient. We'll have more on that coming up. And the Bangor YMCA has been awarded for their new building and helping with economic opportunities in our community. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop. Craig Colson is off for the day. We'll have those stories and much more coming up. And as always, we thank you for joining us. Just a quick reminder to be safe out on the roads this morning. There may be some patches of ice out there. We'll start this morning by getting a first check of our forecasts. Devin Biggs joins us now.
Alrighty, Janessa, thank you very much. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Calls to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Alrighty, let's get into things this morning. We have a gale warning that remains in effect until about 10 p.m. as we head towards your Friday. Still watching some active surf that's presently going on along the coast. But meanwhile, on land, we had some precipitation developing last night. We had some rain that switched over to snow for a little while, and now it is presently tracking off towards the north and east. We'll still watch for some snow showers developing today, with temperatures that will start off in the 30s, but then falling throughout the rest of the day. But as we do move forward, here's the bigger picture. Still some precipitation across parts of the northeast, so it's not just us experiencing some of that precipitation. Futurecast moving forward, there's the snow showers right there, some clouds, and of course becoming windy. Notice the isobars really becoming stacked. So for today, there's those low to mid 30s, mostly cloudy snow showers, and of course those falling temperatures today as the winds pick up. Your hourly forecast moving forward, those falling temperatures, clouds, and snow showers. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Janessa?
Thank you, Devin. We'll look forward to that a little later on. Well, first this morning, there are many ways to heat a home during the winter. Holden and Eddington Fire Chief Ryan Davis says they've already responded to a handful of calls regarding heating source malfunctions. Our Doug Banks spoke with him about how to heat your home safely.
I would argue that winter is our busiest season.
It's the time of the year when temperatures go down and thermostats get turned up. But there's more than one way to heat a home, and whichever way that is, it must be done safely.
You really need to make sure that you use caution when anytime you use anything more than what your home really is designed for. As it gets colder, everybody's using heating appliances that they've never had on since spring, and they have heating issues or improper use, and we could cause fires.
This past Monday, there was a fatal fire in the town of Windsor. The incident remains under investigation, but authorities say the individual was experiencing furnace issues and used electric heaters to warm the home. Holden and Eddington Fire Chief Ryan Davis says they've responded to around 4 to 5 incidents of heating appliance malfunctions within the past month. Most recently on Tuesday night, when an unmaintained apartment building heating unit caught fire. No one was injured or displaced.
Another close call.
Chief Davis says heating sources need to be cleaned and maintained before use. Open flame units should not be used indoors. If it's an auxiliary heat source, like a space heater, only use it under the manufacturer's recommendations. Keep anything flammable away.
Make sure you keep nothing on top of them.
And don't use an extension cord.
They draw a lot of power on those type of units.
He also says there should be a gas detector in the house, a CO detector on each floor, and a smoke detector outside each bedroom. For further information, he recommends folks talk with their local fire department.
Well, Chief Ryan also spoke about thawing pipes, saying that it should never be done with an open flame. Instead, use a hot towel, a hairdryer, or call your local fire department for help. Well, home in Wayne is a total loss after a fire on Tuesday evening. According to Maine State Police, a call came in around 6:25 p.m. for a structure fire at 29 Wood Road. The house was found to be fully engulfed shortly after crews arrived. State police say all occupants of the home escaped safely, but one individual was transported to a local hospital with minor injuries. The investigation into the fire is still ongoing. A New York man pleaded guilty yesterday to maintaining an illegal grow house in St. Albans. 49-year-old Ken Yu also pleaded guilty to submitting a false mortgage loan application. According to court records, Yu bought a house in St. Albans using an $80,000 loan he got from a Maine bank by falsely answering yes to a question about it being used as his primary residence. Records say he used the property to grow and distribute marijuana from September of 2020 to January of 2024. In December of 2024, he admitted to police that he was selling the marijuana he grew at the property to buyers in Massachusetts. Yu faces up to 30 years in prison and maximum of $1 million for the mortgage fraud count and 20 years in prison and a maximum fine of $500,000 for the drug count. Well, a day after Senator Susan Collins pressed a U.S. trade representative on the impact of tariffs on multiple Maine industries, experts and stakeholders made it clear to a special commission that they are seeing the impact of tariffs. In a live stream public hearing with the Maine Canadian Legislative Advisory Commission in Augusta, state experts said though August of 2025, Maine exports to Canada were down 18%. The biggest declines were seen in wood pulp and in paper, lobster and salmon, and there were drops in the manufacturing sector too. Experts say tariffs are at least partly to blame, and the forestry products sector is feeling the pain on many levels, including heavy equipment.
Canadian retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods, while they were in place, certainly didn't help. U.S. tariffs increasing the costs of goods sold, a segment of Canadian buyers that have just simply withdrawn from buying U.S. goods of any kind.
Or all manufacturers who manufacture, whether they're in the United States or whether they're importing equipment into the United States for timber harvesting, raised their prices 20 to 30% across the board because of steel tariffs. So that right away sent a message to our community that things were different, and making investments in equipment was going to be extremely challenging.
Duran also says Maine does not have enough domestic manufacturing for building construction. He says about 60% of the marketplace comes from Canada, and many of the closest mills for building are also coming from Canada. Well, Bangor has officially given the boot to the boot, replacing it with a new parking enforcement tool called the Barnacle. Our Alex Schley tells us how it works and what you need to know to avoid it.
Bangor parking officials say the city's new enforcement system has proven to be both effective and cost efficient. It's called the Barnacle, and in the dozen times it's been used, officials say they've collected 100 overdue parking tickets, totaling $2,500 in overdue fines.
There are people that have come in that paid off 30 parking tickets.
The 20-pound device suctions onto a windshield with 750 pounds of pressure.
People that acquire 3 or more unpaid parking tickets are considered scofflaws, and once they reach that level, they're eligible to be either towed or immobilized.
The only way to remove the Barnacle is to pay your outstanding tickets, plus a $75 fee.
They can actually do it with a QR code on their phone, pay online, and then remove the boot themselves, or the Barnacle themselves.
Before the city used the Barnacle, drivers with multiple unpaid tickets were often towed.
You definitely get your money, but it puts the person with the tickets in a really bad place, because now you have to figure out, you just come out and your car's gone. There's no notice, there's nothing.
To avoid that, the city offered drivers an amnesty period before rolling out the new system, letting people pay off parking tickets without late fees. Officials say this alone brought in nearly $10,000. Coupled with the fines paid by Barnacle recipients, officials say the $3,000 a year device has more than paid for itself.
If we find after a year that we need 2, we get 2.
With hundreds of drivers still owing thousands of dollars, officials warn, pay up or get the Barnacle. In Bangor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news, the Bangor YMCA has just been awarded $1 million for its new building. The money comes from the Northern Border Regional Commission Year 2025 Catalyst Program. A number of other organizations were also awarded funding, including the town of Jonesport, Eastern Maine Healthcare Systems, and the Hancock County Planning Commission. Senator Angus King and Senator Susan Collins made that announcement. They released a statement saying the funding will help improve critical infrastructure in communities across our state while strengthening our workforce and creating economic opportunities for many Mainers. People gathered in Bangor yesterday to observe the 77th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Peace and Justice Center of Eastern Maine and Veterans for Peace organized the vigil. Organizers say there are plenty of examples of human rights violations happening in many locations around the world.
We're not out here to start a fight. We're not out here to get in anybody's face. It's just passing information to folks so they know, they're informed, and they can make smart decisions and they can vote appropriately.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, its preamble and its 30 articles were signed in 1948 by over 50 members of the United Nations, including the United States. The time now is 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, it's the end of an era for the town of Pittsfield as the historic sanctuary of the Union Meeting House has been demolished. We'll tell you why coming up. But first, let's take another look at that forecast. For today, mostly cloudy skies with a chance of snow showers, temperatures in the mid-30s. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy and windy, temperatures dropping down to the teens. And for tomorrow, partly cloudy and windy, temperatures right around 23. We'll be right back.
Everyone's waiting for Avatar Fire and Ash. Now this morning on GMA, Zoe Saldana is here live.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
Zoe Saldana.
You don't want to miss Avatar Fire and Ash.
This morning on
Good Morning America.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
Located on Wilson Street in Brewer, Yoshi Japanese Restaurant, where you'll find only the best sushi, Asian favorites, and specialty crafted cocktails that will satisfy anyone. Try tatami seating for an immersive experience. Yoshi Japanese Restaurant, bringing delicious traditions to you.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
Huckleberry's Card and Gift has a wide selection of puzzles for the entire family. Local items, including raised mustard and scone mix from the Scone Goddess, jewelry, town signs, coffee mugs, and much more. Located in front of the Brewer City Hall.
Starting May 1st, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles will begin issuing the new Pine Tree license plate. If you have a Chickadee plate, it will be replaced when you renew after May 1st at no additional charge. If you have a Chickadee plate number you want to keep, you can reserve it today online by searching Reserve My Plate and paying a one-time $25 fee. With your help, we can provide prompt and quality service to all Mainers. Brought to you by this station, the Maine Association of Broadcasters, and the Secretary of State.
The Ellsworth Police Department is helping to make Christmas wishes come true, but they're going to need some help to make it happen. They're teaming up with the Special Children's Friends to fulfill the list of 106 local children. Christmas is getting closer, and there are still 75 tags with specific wishes still on the tree in the police department lobby. You can help by dropping by to grab one and by spreading the word. On Friday, December 12th, from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Ellsworth Police Department will also be doing their annual Stuff the Cruiser event at the Ellsworth Walmart. They will be accepting donations of toys, clothes, gift items, and cash. Well, restoration and repurposing efforts are well underway at the site of a historic building and former church in Pittsfield that was forced to close due to its unsafe structure. The congregation is facing a period of intense rebuilding after being uprooted and discovering a significant financial betrayal. Our Grace Blanchard shares more.
It's the end of an era for the town of Pittsfield as the historic sanctuary of the Union Meeting House has been demolished.
We knew it was going to have to come down, but then to actually see that great big piece of equipment tearing into the church, I shed some tears.
The long-standing meeting house and church was officially forced to close its doors in the fall of 2023 due to its deteriorating state.
The north wall was separating from the ceiling and the roof and was eventually would have collapsed.
The church group was forced to relocate and is now holding services at the public library. According to the mediator of the church, the congregation's troubles didn't stop there. Their former administrator was recently sentenced to 3 years for the embezzlement of church funds and ordered to pay nearly $50,000 in restitution.
Whether we'll ever see that or not, who knows? As of today, we have not seen a penny.
Their building has since been purchased by former Pittsfield resident Michael Dow. He says he plans to repurpose the remaining structure to serve as a community and event center.
I want people in and out of there. I want and I want it to be seen as a place where people come together and do interesting and useful things together. So that's really the overarching plan.
Dow says he hopes to have the project complete by next summer. Love says the congregation is grateful for the efforts.
It's wonderful. It's truly wonderful. He is trying to do something that will help the community.
In Pittsfield, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The time now is 6:15. After the break, the family-run antique shop, WVII Pickers, is preparing an estate sale at the Arthur Chapin House in Bangor. Plus, the Trump administration ramps up pressure on Venezuela's government by seizing an oil tank in the Caribbean. These stories and more straight ahead on Good Morning Maine.
A fourth-generation family-owned business, Hammond Lumber Company is proud of two recent continuing traditions. For the 5th year in a row, Hammond was named one of the best places to work in Maine. And for the 3rd consecutive year, Hammond was selected as one of the best companies to work for by Business New Hampshire magazine. Find your opportunity to join the Hammond team at hammondlumber.com. Hammond Lumber Company, always striving to provide the best for their employees and their customers throughout Maine and New Hampshire.
Davis Brothers Furniture is expanding. At Davis Brothers, we've always strived to stand out from the rest, and we are now proud to offer flooring for your home, featuring both carpeting and luxury vinyl flooring. We even have an installer in-house with over 30 years of experience. Come see the reason people have been traveling from all over the state and beyond to Davis Brothers Furniture in Guilford for decades. Davis Brothers Furniture, deliberately different, delivering statewide.
Hey, what the?
This weekend, you can walk into a time capsule at the historic Arthur Chapin House in Bangor. A vast estate sale will be held featuring historic collectibles tucked within a beautifully preserved manor. Our Alexa Kennedy has the details.
Tuesday, the family-run antique shop, WVII Pickers, is preparing an estate sale at the Arthur Chapin House in Bangor. The home is well known, in part, because of its former owner, Moshe Meyerowitz. The stunning colonial is incredibly well preserved and filled wall-to-wall with historical items, many of which are tied to the previous owner's legacies.
We get here and we don't want to leave. You know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful home filled with a lot of antiques and history.
The house was built in 1912, and the original owner, Arthur Chapin, was a prominent businessman and former mayor of Bangor. Moshe Meyerowitz, the most recent owner, was a successful chiropractor who was very involved in the community.
There's going to be a lot of local people who knew Moshe personally and the family.
The sale features artifacts from the 19th and 20th centuries, including artwork, jewelry, furniture, fine glassware, vintage clothing, and so much more. The Dominiches say that because the items vary and originate across generations, there is something for everyone.
Not every place is the same. This is our highest end place that we have been in, so the antiques are a lot older and more valuable.
The Dominiches say this estate sale has gained a lot of traction from potential buyers interested in items and the building.
We've had a lot of people reach out saying they're going to attend because they just love to have something from them.
The estate sale will be open from 1 to 5 on Friday and 10 to 4 Saturday through Sunday. In Bangor, Alexa Kennedy, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. Gale warning up until Friday at around 10 p.m. along the coast. Still watching for some very active surf that is presently going on at this moment in time at around 6 to even 7 feet along the coast and 7 to even 10 feet farther out towards sea. So the ocean definitely a mess out there this morning. But meanwhile, a lot of snow reports currently taking place this morning. Nothing too significant out there. There's Bangor out there reporting at least 1.5 inches of snow recently. Other spots farther down reporting roughly 4 inches of snow as well before that transition over to rain. So overall, a lot of snow reports. I'm sure we'll see a lot more farther off towards the north with the morning reports coming in rather soon. As we do zoom things out, here we are, a lot more of the snow farther off towards the north. That is currently moving away. Again, as the morning comes in, we'll see a lot more of those reports moving forward. But in the meantime, though, as we do zoom things out, a lot more activity across parts of the Northeast. Not just us, but we'll begin to calm down moving forward in the precipitation department. We'll still have a few snow showers, but the winds are going to increase today. Look at the isobars becoming stacked moving forward. So gusty winds up to 30 to 40 miles per hour will be expected today with on and off snow showers farther off towards the north. Even through parts of Friday, we clear out as we head towards Friday night, and even in parts of Saturday, not looking too bad. As for additional snowfall, it will stay farther off towards the north, but further down toward the south, anything additional not looking too bad. I'm showing you our hourly forecast again because temperatures are going to be falling today. So our high temperature for today, which is in the mid-30s, will be hit early before we start to cool off throughout the rest of the day. So of course there's those mid-30s there. Will be mostly cloudy, snow showers today, and that west wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. Overnight, 12 degrees is what will cool off to, partly cloudy, of course windy, and that west wind getting up to about 40 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, here we are with low 20s, partly cloudy and windy out there, and that west wind getting up to about 40 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's check out that extended forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive. All right, partly cloudy for your Saturday with highs in the upper 20s, and then snow chances for your Sunday with highs in the mid-20s, and then low 20s coming up for your Monday under a mostly sunny sky.
Coastal Auto Parts, family-owned Napa Auto Parts stores featuring a great line of Milwaukee tools and heated gear for Christmas. Wishing everyone happy holidays from Complete Tire in Ellsworth for 51 years of dependable repairs, quality tires, and friendly service. Happy holiday from Shirley's Yarns and Crafts in Hancock. Down East's largest yarn selection, great gifts, and art supplies. Visit today and be delighted.
Come in and visit AMHG Works, Bangor's #1 gift shop, located at 36 Springer Drive in the Rennie's Plaza. We have special gifts for you, your furry companion, and that special someone you are in need of a gift for. It's worth a trip in for unique American-made gifts. Here at AMHG Works, everything is American-made, and we are open 7 days a week for your convenience. American-made home goods. We look forward to seeing you.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. We are this year's proud sponsors of the Salvation Army Christmas Toy Drive. Each year, the Salvation Army collects interesting, new, unopened, and unwrapped toys to ensure that every good boy and girl receives a gift on Christmas morning. This year, the need is greater than ever. We invite you to join with Santa, his elves, and all the rest of us to make this possible by bringing your gift for a good girl or boy to the Salvation Army Family Store at 585 Broadway in Bangor and placing it under the tree. From there, Santa, his elves, and the Salvation Army will make sure our donated gifts are wrapped and delivered to a good boy or girl in time for them to open on Christmas morning. Together, we can be the blessing to make a child's Christmas merrier and New Year happier.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from ABC 7.
This morning, major escalations off the coast of Venezuela after the U.S. seized a crude oil tanker. It comes as Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Machado made her first public appearance in 11 months to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in Norway. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio was in Washington with the details.
This morning, the first glimpse of Venezuela's opposition leader in nearly a year. Maria Machado waving to supporters in Oslo, Norway, where she received the Nobel Peace Prize. This as the Trump administration ramps up pressure on Venezuela's government by seizing an oil tanker in the Caribbean. This video released by the White House shows the moment U.S. Navy helicopters hovered above the tanker as heavily armed members of the Coast Guard rappelled down to the deck.
We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And other things are happening.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says the tanker was part of an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations. Venezuela's government releasing a statement strongly denouncing the seizures and calling on the international community to reject this unprecedented aggression. Members of the House Armed Services Committee question whether the operation is justified and legal.
This Congress has not had any say in when we're using military force, and it hasn't had any briefings on why we are using military force. And that is really, really problematic and should be troubling to all Americans.
This seizure marks the first time the U.S. has overtly interfered with oil exports, which is Venezuela's main source of revenue. And it comes amid rising tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela after the U.S. conducted airstrikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean, killing dozens. In total, the U.S. has launched more than 20 strikes on suspected drug boats in the Caribbean Sea, killing nearly 90 people.
It definitely seems like we are inching closer to actually war with Venezuela.
President Trump recently suggested possible land strikes inside Venezuela and has also threatened neighboring Colombia, saying it could be targeted next. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, the Department of Homeland Security acquires planes to carry out deportations. The agency says it signed a deal with De La Dulles Aviation to purchase 6 Boeing 737 jets for immigration and customs enforcement to deport immigrants. A report says the purchase is for nearly $140 million. ICE currently carries out the deportations through charter flight companies. Homeland Security claims the deal will save taxpayers $279 million. Now to Minnesota, where officials say a U.S. citizen was wrongfully arrested during the ongoing immigration crackdown. We're now hearing from the man who was targeted. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
I felt like I was getting assaulted. I was getting kidnapped.
A Minneapolis man is speaking out after he says he was arrested by immigration agents despite being a U.S. citizen with no criminal record. The 20-year-old Somali American who gave only his first name, Mubashir, says he was confronted by ICE during his lunch break and was pushed inside the stairwell of this restaurant.
I was even outside for mere seconds before I seen a masked person running at me full speed. He tackled me. I told him I'm a U.S. citizen. What is going on? He didn't seem to care.
He says the agents denied his numerous attempts to show them his passport. He was detained for several hours and later released after his identity was verified.
You can't tackle somebody because they look Somali without knowing who they are, what their name is.
ICE has not commented on the incident but defends its ongoing operation in Minneapolis, saying it's focused on removing the, quote, worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens. The confrontation with Mubashir is one of several volatile incidents in recent days. Agents were seen here pepper spraying a crowd blocking their vehicles. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
The head of the NTSB is sounding the alarm about a new proposal in Congress. She says it would make flying less safe. Her remarks came during a fiery news conference. Once again, ABC's Nicole D'Antonio with more.
This morning, the chair of the National Transportation Safety Board speaking out, slamming a defense bill being considered by Congress that she says will make flying in and out of Washington, D.C. more dangerous.
If it sounds like I'm mad, I am mad. This is shameful.
Jennifer Hamady says the NTSB vehemently opposes part of the bill that would roll back safety improvements recommended after last January's mid-air collision of a military helicopter and an American Airlines regional jet near Reagan National Airport. 67 people were killed in that crash.
It reverses safety changes made after the mid-air collision and essentially gives the military unfettered access to the crowded and complex D.C. airspace. This is a significant safety setback.
In the wake of that tragedy, military aircraft were required to broadcast their position using a technology known as ADS-B. But Hamady warns the new defense bill would allow exemptions to that policy.
We should be working together in partnership to prevent the next accident, not inviting history to repeat itself.
Families of the crash victims call the proposed exemptions deeply concerning. But supporters say military chopters on training missions would still be required to warn other aircraft about their position or get a waiver from the Transportation Secretary. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
An atmospheric river event that's been slamming the Pacific Northwest with rain is now focused on Washington. Historic flooding could force 100,000 people to evacuate. And after 2 days of rain, another 4 to 8 inches of rain is possible today in higher elevations of western Washington state. Rescue efforts have been in full force, EMS and rescue crews saving people from landslides, rising water, and emergency situations. The governor of Washington, Bob Ferguson, stating that residents need to follow the evacuation orders. Coming up on the second half of the newscast, a very special Navy veteran is turning 100 years old today. This and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a great place to work. The team here provided me with all the opportunities and experience necessary to grow within the company, all while working around my busy college schedule. They provided all the necessary licensing and training. It truly was the job that kickstarted my career.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a licensed agency with personal support specialists.
Let our compassionate, reliable, considerate caregivers make your life a little easier by providing assistance for you or your loved one.
Autumn of Life Home Care. We focus on you.
Don't get cold feet this winter. Stay warm and dry with high-performance footwear from Comfort Shoes and More. With an extensive selection of winter boots rated from 0 to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll find comfort in knowing your feet will be warm in any weather. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear with grippers built right into the sole, with boots in stock up to 6E and size 17 for men and women. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas from McCusick Petroleum. May you have joy, warmth, and peace this holiday season. Happy holidays and season's greetings to all our friends and customers from Carpet One in Bangor. Merry Christmas from all the staff at Bears One Stop. Thank you for a great year.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Senators Susan Collins and Angus King have announced their nominees to the United States military academies. In a release from Senator Collins' office, the senators shared their nominees to the federal academies. To be considered for an appointment to a service academy, applicants must be nominated by an authorized nominating source, which includes members of Congress. Admission to the United States Coast Guard Academy, also a federal service academy, does not require a congressional nomination. In the release, Senator Collins and King said, quote, "We are proud to have the honor to nominate such an impressive group of Maine students to our nation's Distinguished Service Academies. The young people we have nominated have earned this honor through a commitment to strong scholarship, leadership, and character," end quote. For the full list of nominees, you can find this story on our website at foxbangor.com. Now let's turn things right back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
All righty, Janessa, thank you very much. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. All righty, let's get into things this morning. We have a gale warning that remains in effect until about 10 p.m. as we head towards your Friday. Still watching some active surf that's presently going on along the coast. But meanwhile, on land, we had some precipitation developing last night. We had some rain that switched over to snow for a little while, and now it is presently tracking off towards the north and east. We'll still watch for some snow showers developing today, with temperatures that will start off in the 30s, but then falling throughout the rest of the day. But as we do move forward, here's the bigger picture. Still some precipitation across parts of the northeast, so it's not just us experiencing some of that precipitation. Futurecast moving forward, there's the snow showers right there, some clouds, and of course becoming windy. Notice the isobars really becoming stacked. So for today, there's those low to mid 30s, mostly cloudy snow showers, and of course those falling temperatures today as the winds pick up. Your hourly forecast moving forward, those falling temperatures, clouds, and snow showers. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Janessa?
Thank you, Devin. Well, we're wishing a very special Navy veteran a very happy birthday today as he turns 100 years old. He's barely slowing down. ABC's Danny New kept in touch with his family and then caught him with this hero yesterday during his last day in the double digits.
I was on an attack transport ship.
You may remember our story from almost 2 years ago with World War II veteran Arthur Grabiner.
When you see the ship, do all the memories come flooding back?
Yes, it does.
We spoke aboard the USS Intrepid, a decommissioned aircraft carrier in New York where, to this day, this retired naval hero still volunteers monthly.
So Intrepid had over
3,500.
Answering questions about a global conflict without many witnesses left.
I figure it's a duty that I owe this generation.
Well, we have an update for you.
Happy birthday, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Today, Arthur turns 100 years old. Arthur spent his last day in the double digits at the home of his beloved New York Mets, donating 3 winter coats to an annual coat drive that he and his son Doug attend every year.
It was great. Every aisle they honored us in, and it was wonderful.
Arthur is still volunteering frequently. In fact, next week he'll be presenting to more than 500 8th graders as he continues his mission to tell folks specifically about his experience as a naval veteran of the Pacific Theater. He always recalls one question he received from a young man.
He says, "I never knew there was a war in the Pacific." Well, that struck something in my brain. Why doesn't he know?
In other words, even as he hits the century mark, here's the answer you get when you ask Arthur if he plans on slowing down.
Here I am, going on to my 100th birthday and beyond.
So for the big 100th today, Arthur is set to celebrate with the Regiment of Midshipmen at the United States Merchant Marine Academy on New York's Long Island. And then on Saturday, he is all about that Army-Navy showdown. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Still to come here this morning, Max Sturm with sports. Don't go away.
Oh no! Son of a nutcracker. This is what I get for eating all those cookies. Hey, Rotor-Rooter, I got a big clog for you. I'm stuck in the chimney. Again. Yep, I'm the clog. Any chance you could fa-la-la over here?
For all your holiday plumbing needs, Rotor-Rooter can save the day.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Gun Sports and Brewer knows that for fun, exercise, and meeting new friends, nothing is better than ice skating. Whether it's sailing down the ice, making a great pass, and scoring in a game of hockey, or the grace, strength, and expression of figure skating. From the youngest child all the way to adulthood, anyone can enjoy the fun of skating. At Gun Sports, we supply the equipment for your skating fun for great prices, the proper fit, and service after the sale. Shop your locally owned Gun Sports Shop, Greenpoint Road in Brewer.
You're gripping a pumpkin spice latte, watching the home game on a Friday night. Earlier, you took the kids apple picking and almost made it through the corn maze. It's that time of year. Shorter days, cooler nights. Valley Home Services believes the comfort and warmth of home means more on nights like these. Comfort and warmth that comes from Fujitsu heat pumps. Valley Home Services has the most reliable choices for heating and cooling your home or business. Ditch the worry of heating bills and power outages all season long with Valley Home Services.
Go ahead, embrace the comfort.
Half-off deals are waiting for you at foxbangor.com. Click on half-off deals and see how much you can save only at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, everyone. Folks, the snow is falling, and for many around the state of Maine, that means snowmobile season is right around the corner. Last week, Maine saw its first real winter weather of the season, and the Maine Snowmobile Association has been hard at work preparing the trails around the state for use in the coming weeks. Director of Operations Alan Sweat says there are over 15,000 people from all around Maine working to have the trails ready for opening day on December 15th, and a little extra snow would not hurt.
You know, we have from Kittery to Madawaska and from Aquasic to Eastport and every place in between. There's bridges that have to be, you know, rebuilt, a lot of bridges. A lot of the clubs right now are going out and with their heavy equipment and they're rolling. They have these big rolling pins that they roll the trails with to pack the snow down. And that really helps maintain the trails in the future. You know, most everything is all signed now and we're just ready to roll and waiting for some additional snow.
Next, we kick it down to Portland, where the Maine Black Bears hockey team faced off against UMass Lowell in an all-important matchup. Getting things started, Dylan Bentley gets things going for UMass as they go up 1-0. Later in the first, Justin Poirier decides to do it all himself and puts the Black Bears up 2-1. And a great shot there. And in the second period, he would have his name called again. Poirier is going to drop to a knee and hit the one-timer to tie it up 3-3. And this game would go to overtime, and Lucas Peterson connects with Owen Fowler, who was buzzing all night long, and he wins it in overtime against his former team. Black Bears win 5-4. We'll now turn it over to our Jack Webb, who was in Portland for this game. Jack, what did you see?
Max, what a show the fans down here in Portland got tonight, and what a win for the Maine Black Bears. A potentially season-changing win. This was a team whose culture was called into question by their head coach, by people in their own building. That's how they answered tonight. Now, you might think a get-right game, a get-right win might be a blowout win, a 4-0 win, a dominant. I would argue that this win right here exercised some demons for the Maine Black Bears, because a lot of the stuff they've been struggling with popped up in this game tonight, in the second period. It looked like UMass Lowell was all over them, and then in the fourth, they pull themselves out of a hole, and it wasn't just this game. They pulled themselves out of the current hole they're in as a team at this point in the season. And head coach Ben Barr talked to us about what that could possibly do for his team moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about our culture and our standards lately, and, it's been an issue, and I think, that part of it won us the game. We got to a bunch of penalty kills at the end, when you're struggling, usually games are ugly like that when you're trying to get out of it. And we found a way to get it done.
Now, staying with culture, but talking about some of those individual efforts, Frank Jurasevich is an assistant captain who was scratched for the first time in his Black Bear career on Saturday night against UNH. An assistant captain scratched. He responds tonight by tying the game late in the third to make it 4-4. And then Owen Fowler, who was buzzing around all night. He left his heart on that ice tonight against his former team in the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. His final shift embodied his night. He gets a breakaway, full speed down the ice, beating everyone, out-efforting everyone, gets stuffed, but he stays with the play. He's up towards the blue line, gets back down, buries the game winner. Here's what he had to say about it after.
It feels great. Obviously
obviously it feels good to get that against my old team, but for the team to scratch and claw our way back multiple times, honestly, I think that shows a lot about our character, what we've been building the last few weeks. Obviously, we've gone through a little streak that's a little challenging, but I think we let on each other and it felt great out there.
Listen, it wasn't pretty. There's plenty to clean up, and I'm sure they'll go over it in the film room. But this win tonight proved to this Black Bear team that they have it within them. They have the toughness, the mental fortitude to pull themselves out of holes like this and pull themselves out of what they're going through, the funk they're at in the season right now. What a win for the Maine Black Bears, Max. Like I said, potentially season-changing for that team.
Thanks, Jack. Such an important win for them going forward. Transitioning now to the national spotlight, huge news comes out of the MLB today as the Baltimore Orioles have signed former Mets first baseman Pete Alonso. The Polar Bear, as fans like to call him, signed a massive 5-year, $155 million deal with Baltimore that locks him in with the team through the 2030 season. Alonso spent the last 7 seasons with the Mets, who didn't even make him an offer. There were rumors that the Red Sox were looking into signing the vet, but the Orioles took a swing and hit a home run. Now, if you thought that signing was crazy, then you've got another thing coming. As in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts signed quarterback Phillip Rivers to their active roster on Tuesday. That's right, 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. The former Chargers legend signed or last played a snap of football in the NFL in 2020 with the Colts, where he played just 1 season, and now 5 years later, following a season-ending injury to Colts starter Daniel Jones, he signs back with the team. Rivers is up this year to be selected to the Hall of Fame. He's a semifinalist, and remember, you have to be retired for 5 years to even be considered. So if Rivers starts Sunday versus Seattle, the clock resets all over again. Rivers addressed the media today where they asked about the shape he's in, and his answer was nothing short of hilarious.
What is your playing weight? What do you weigh right now?
Right this second? I'm not sure, Greg. How about that? That's an honest answer. And not what it was when I walked off the field in Buffalo, all right? I can tell you that. But then I'll follow that up with, I ain't never ran away from anybody anyway.
Just a crazy signing. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Ashes to Ashes Pet Crematory. Compassionate private care for beloved pets. Call for a quote at 207-943-6474. Season's greetings from SPS Music, Maine's biggest little music shop, sparking musical dreams with every stick, pick, and string. Top-notch Detailing in Herman is offering 20% off all gift cards until the end of the year. Just mention this ad.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
Located on Wilson Street in Brewer, Yoshi Japanese Restaurant, where you'll find only the best sushi, Asian favorites, and specialty crafted cocktails that will satisfy anyone. Try tatami seating for an immersive experience. Yoshi Japanese Restaurant, bringing delicious traditions to you.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
This holiday you can fly BGR to the Motor City or the Windy City or maybe Philly, Charlotte, North Carolina, New York and Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, plus Punta Gorda, Tampa, St. Pete, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Washington, D.C., all departing from BGR. Happy holiday travel from Bangor International Airport.
Welcome back, everyone. A community in Georgia is picking out their perfect Christmas tree and providing for a children's home at the same time. Fox's Denise Dillon in Powder Springs, Georgia, with more.
This is the 20th year for the Calvary Children's Home Christmas tree sales. People say they come back every year because they're not just buying a tree, they're doing some good for a group of kids.
We try to sell the absolute best trees we can find on planet Earth.
It's that time of year when families walk through the rows of Christmas trees on the grounds of the Calvary Children's Home in Powder Springs. When they buy a tree here, it means something special. because the money goes to the children's home.
It pays for car repairs, college tuition, and some excellent adventures every year.
In the season of giving, that's a way that you could do something, and then you feel like you're giving back too.
The Calvary Children's Home is for kids who, for one reason or another, can no longer live with their parents. It's a long-term home where they can find safety, stability, and a sense of family.
They go to school here, church here, play sports in the community here. What we're trying to do is just say to these kids, you're cared for. And this tree lot, even that, is evidence that people care about them.
Dozens and dozens of volunteers from the community chip in, and the children help with the tree sales too.
They get to work and be a part of a business, but also they get to experience just how deeply their community cares for them.
There are many people like the Greeno family who come back to this lot every year, knowing they're making a difference.
We can do a little bit of good, and we get a nice tree to bring home too.
We come back, and every year we find the perfect one.
The trees are going fast. They've already sold more than 900 trees, but there are still a couple of hundred trees left on the lot. In Powder Springs, Denise Stillen, Fox 5 News.
Now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. Gale warning up until Friday at around 10 p.m. along the coast. Still watching for some very active surf that is presently going on at this moment and time at around 6 to even 7 feet along the coast and 7 to even 10 feet farther out towards sea. So the ocean definitely a mess out there this morning. But meanwhile, a lot of snow reports currently taking place this morning. Nothing too significant out there. There's Bangor out there reporting at least 1.5 inches of snow recently. Other spots farther down reporting roughly 4 inches of snow as well before that transition over to rain. So overall, a lot of snow reports. I'm sure we'll see a lot more further off towards the north with the morning reports coming in rather soon. As we do zoom things out, here we are. A lot more of the snow farther off towards the north. That is currently moving away. Again, as the morning comes in, we'll see a lot more of those reports moving forward. But in the meantime, though, as we do zoom things out, a lot more activity across parts of the Northeast. Not just us, but we'll begin to calm down moving forward in the precipitation department. We'll still have a few snow showers, but the winds are going to increase today. Look at the isobars becoming stacked moving forward. So gusty winds up to 30 to 40 miles per hour will be expected today with on and off snow showers farther off towards the north. Even through parts of Friday, we clear out as we head towards Friday night, and even in parts of Saturday, not looking too bad. As for additional snowfall, it will stay further off towards the north, but further down toward the south, anything additional not looking too bad. I'm showing you our hourly forecast again because temperatures are going to be falling today. So our high temperature for today, which is in the mid-30s, will be hit early before we start to cool off throughout the rest of the day. So of course there's those mid-30s there. Will be mostly cloudy, snow showers today, and that west wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. Overnight, 12 degrees is what will cool off to, partly cloudy, of course windy, and that west wind getting up to about 40 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, here we are with low 20s, partly cloudy and windy out there, and that west wind getting up to about 40 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's check out that extended forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive. All right, partly cloudy for your Saturday with highs in the upper 20s, and then snow chances for your Sunday with highs in the mid-20s, and then low 20s coming up for your Monday under a mostly sunny sky.
Looking for the perfect gift? Come explore the Purple Baboon. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, jewelry, inspiring local books, one-of-a-kind treasures and souvenirs, they have something for everyone. The Purple Baboon, the best selection at great prices. 31 Front Street, Belfast.
Keep your next building project on track when you plan ahead with help from Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center specialists offer professional plans with customizable 3D renderings available to bring your project to life. Once your design is finalized and approved, you'll receive a full materials list. And when you buy all your materials from them, Hammond will refund your design fees. Get your building project off to the right start when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros. At CNR Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair, and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the CNR promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with CNR Carpet Cleaning.
I'm Jim with Lowry Law. I was contacted by a woman who asked me to help one of her friends who had been hurt by a drunk driver. Not only did he have multiple injuries, he had the added stress of being the victim of a crime. We helped make sure that he didn't have to testify or even go to court. That was important to him, so I made it a priority. We got him a $250,000 settlement. If you've been hurt by a drunk driver, call me. I'm your go-to guy.
Hurt by a drunk driver? Call the twos. Friday at 8, 7 Central.
This is the biggest challenge any of us have ever done.
Don't miss the ABC sneak peek of the Disney Plus docuseries, The End of an Era. A special ABC preview, Friday at 8, 7 Central, and stream it all on Disney Plus.
A deer hoping to become a member of Santa's sleigh team found itself in quite the mess. Police in Jonesboro, Tennessee say the deer broke into the Gabriels and Moore shop in Jonesboro early on Friday and spent some time rummaging through the shop, checking out ornaments and garland. Officers came out and tried to stop the deer as it galloped through the store. The deer was eventually caught when it tried to slip under a chair and got wedged in. Officers then escorted the thief out of the store. Once officers freed the deer from the chair, the deer took off running. Well, a fast food restaurant in Bangor is getting into the holiday spirit and making some waves on social media with a music video. On December 8th, the team at Chick-fil-A Bangor released a completely self-produced music video of Oh Holy Night on their Facebook page. Everyone performing in the video is a Bangor Chick-fil-A team member. The post has already garnered over 1,900 reactions. Chick-fil-A Bangor owner and operator Todd Schultz says it's just another way the restaurant is trying to elevate their guest experience and get everyone into the Christmas spirit.
It was actually a joint idea. We had done something similar a couple of years ago, and Philip came to me and said, hey, I think we'd like to do this again this year. And so we talked about it, put a plan together, and he ran with the rest of it.
It's a really special time of year. This project is just a special message of the joy of Christmas time, and for me, I was really glad to highlight that. I was really glad that we could involve our team in that we could have other members of our team be a part of this and get to share that message with our community.
To Mumford, the video took a few months to pull together, with pre-production starting as early as October. Well, that is all the time that we have left for this hour, but you can join us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22. Have a great day, everyone.